So a little bit over 2 months ago, I did a video on World War III, the game, and at the time I stated that the game is going to be going free to play, which was pretty big news at the time that I did the video. And now I would have expected that free to play to have come out by now. I actually thought it was going to come out in April, but we've still not seen anything. So I wanted to take a look back and see what they've been working on and see what's happening. And I actually think they're going about this in a really good way, and it's a way which other companies should adopt as well, because what they're doing is they don't want to release it until they've patched it up and got it just right. So they're doing quite a lot of patches, they've put a lot of work into it. There's been a lot of maintenance on the servers and stuff like that, because they know that when it goes free to play, there's going to be a massive increase in the player base, and if it's not good from the get-go, I don't think people are really going to stick around. I think we've seen that from other games. If they're not good straight off the bat, if they look like they're not really in that finished state, quite often you can really cause a dip in the players, and it's an uphill battle to get those players back and into the game and enjoying it. So I think they're taking the right approach. They're putting out patches. Even a couple of days ago they put out a patch which worked on some animations and some player progressions, and they're getting it all ready for the free to play. You can see there's some categories which are grayed out, which are obviously catered for battle passes and things you can buy in store, which is good. So I wanted to see what the game's like now anyway and what kind of state it's in. And going back to it, the first thing that I always kind of am impressed by is the gunplay. The gunplay in World War III is excellent. It's definitely, in my opinion, the best aspect of the game. It's got a very short, it's kind of a unique thing where there's a very short time to kill, but the movement is a bit more in the kind of Battlefield, Call of Duty realm, so it's a bit more arcadey in terms of movement, but the shooting is way more hardcore. You can go down extremely quickly, so it does get a bit of getting used to, because when you're sprinting around you're thinking, actually I'll be okay in these open environments, but you go in them, you're going to get nailed pretty quickly. So it takes a bit of getting used to how you're supposed to play the game. What I will say is I think they definitely need to put some more maps into the game. So at the moment there's 4 maps, and I think they're good maps on the whole. There's occasional, and I don't know if this, I try not to make things that are just my personal preference, trying to be as objective as possible. But there are some maps where I feel like there's just too many nooks and crannies for you to be able to get shot from. Buildings have got loads of windows, and like some of the windows are tiny, so you can barely see someone inside. It's also a pretty extensive lean on the players, so you can really have a low player profile just leaning out a window, and I thought there was a bit too much of that on certain maps. Now on other maps it's much better, especially indoor elements are really good in the game. And yeah, I don't want to nitpick too much on the map design, because I don't know how much of that is my personal preference, but be interested if any of you guys have played World War III, what you guys think of it as well, or whether it's just me. But they do need more maps. At the moment there's only 4, and they can get a bit repetitive when you're playing them over and over again, so I think they need to double that. I really think they need to get to 8 maps as soon as possible. And also another thing, and I really enjoy World War III, I'm just going to say that before I'm critical, because sometimes it's easier to be critical of things that you don't enjoy stand out more than things that you do enjoy. So I will say, just before I go into any critiques, that on the whole I really enjoy going back to World War III. I will say it doesn't keep me engaged for a huge amount of time. I find it struggles a bit with longevity and just keeping me in there. Now if they're working on some kind of really good player progression system, that would obviously work well. There are still weapon unlocks and gadget unlocks, and there's plenty of gadgets, so that is fun to do. But in terms of just kind of variety and to keep myself interested in the game, I find that, I don't know if it's just the lack of structure to each time I play the game, but it seems a bit more like it's got that team deathmatch feel as opposed to a really objective oriented gameplay. There's a bit too much ebb and flow with the points, I feel. It's a bit harder to kind of hold on to a point and be strategic. I feel that you are running around and it's got a bit of a team deathmatch feel to it. That's why I said, I think in my first video, it's because it's been compared a lot to Battlefield games, and I actually think it's more similar to a Call of Duty game, but with plenty of Battlefield style features. And I think that similarity to the Call of Duty game comes from that team deathmatch style feel. So now obviously Call of Duty is a very popular game, so it is kind of personal preference again jumping in, but I do tend to prefer those object oriented game modes and types of game as opposed to the team deathmatch stuff. So Be interested to know what everyone thinks, especially when it goes free to play and it gets a big player base. But I think what they're doing in terms of building that up to the free to play has been the right thing. And yeah, I do hope it's successful when it does go free to play, because you know we always want these kind of games to come out there. Obviously Battlefield's been pretty disappointing. So any of these kind of games that are getting out there onto the market, and I think they've done a good job in the core elements of it. I know they did have problems previously earlier in development, which kind of drove a fair few people away, and at the moment the player count is pretty low. So I'm hoping that when it goes free to play, I do hope that it will be as expected, that they get a big jump in popularity, and yeah, hope guys enjoy it as well. I've been enjoying it. Let's see what they can do, let's see what change they can make to it, let's see if they can increase the longevity. Yeah, got some gameplay for you guys now, and if you enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, and also think about subscribing. This is not a good way to go into battle, is it? On a flaming buggy. I don't like pushing this when they're in the house, because they can hear you so easily. But we're going to have to. We're going to have a look. Okay, they've been taken out. No, they haven't. Now we're good. There's another one behind the van, I think. Where's he going to pop out? Get grenade over.
Your UAV is ready for deployment.
Don't think that was the guy that I pinged. Someone's coming up left side.
Enemy airstrike fast approaching. Our units are taking hold of objective Alpha.
Yeah, I'm going to go overrun here. They're in there. They're in there. Sure, we can get behind them. Keeping it relatively clear.
Our units are taking hold of objective Alpha 2. Area Bravo.
Oh. I feel like I took a lot of bullets. Went a bit wild with the spray. Yeah, they're pushing in from A2 now. So let's just push up to them at A2. Let's get the attack. Let's go. Straight in. Straight in. Roadkill. Sorry, I kind of left that guy to die. Let's go for it. I'll try and move to some other points, I promise, at some point.
Our units are taking hold of objective Alpha.
Move. Ooh, hello. He's down, don't worry. We're on B1 now. It's kind of pretty solid vantage point. It's actually probably the best point, I reckon. From the little that I know. They've got people in this building, they're with us. In fact, I can use a radar, can't I? So let's use radar on this building.
What up?
Oh, there they are. They're all, most of them are above. They're just camping the stairs, aren't they? Let's go for it. Nice, taking B1. Okay, where are they going to be coming from? B2 is probably the most likely guess. So let's just cover that for now. Let's get an airstrike actually on that. Where they're pushing. Right there.
Friendly airstrike incoming. Objective Alpha 1 is under attack.
There we go. It's a pretty solid vantage point. A lot of nice, that one's down. This is where the windows are so hard to push on buildings. Oh yeah, nice flank. Didn't get that second guy. Don't want to wall peek over there. Yeah, they're pushing, I believe. Someone pushing around the left side. Oh crap. It's lucky. Right, let's go for C2 then, boys. We've got a tank, so let's keep well away from that.
Objective Bravo 1 is under attack.
It's not coming this way, is it? And we'll go for C2. That balcony tends to get populated. Right, let's check, get a UAV on it, on the point. There's someone in this building over here. Let's get him. Probably didn't need the whole clip, but my aiming sucks. Okay, nice. We're on this. There is someone in this building though. So watch out. I still don't really know what gets them tagged on the radar, like on your screen like that. Because UAV doesn't, I don't think. Oh god. Shut up, Max. I actually just had to detour to C1 because they are taking it. Oh, that'll be why. Is that their helicopter as well? Doesn't do that much damage, does it? Need a rocket launcher, really. Let's get radar on C1. Oh, I don't want this helicopter to nail me. Okay, nice, down. Good stuff, good stuff.
Objective Bravo 1 is under attack. Objective Alpha 2 is under attack.
Oh, I think this UAV that I put down spots it for everyone. There's someone pushing us, aren't there? He's down, is he? Yeah, he's down. Right, they've got a tank lurking on the point, so I'll have to wait for it to go before I can do anything. Like, this is one of the small crevices. That is just so harsh. Imagine trying to shoot someone that's in here. Yeah, we're getting annihilated here. Let's hopefully just take out their tanks. Then we might be able to get a bit of purchase going. Ouch. Is there someone else? Yeah, there was. This guy. Footsteps are ridiculously loud in this game as well, so you can really get a good picture of where people are if you are patient. It's not quite so good at range. Oh, the guy's seen me. Is he? Or is he just not paying attention? I don't think he's paying attention. Right, let's get somewhere we're a bit closer. Or at least let's find a vehicle. Knocked his helmet off. Let's push him. And I'm out of bullets. Okay, we don't have a pistol, do we?
Our units are taking hold of objective Charlie.
That's what we wanted.
Enemy airstrike fast approaching. There's no glory in getting your ass kicked.
There it is. Yeah, pretty chaotic. I would like there to be a bit more structure. I think hopefully that kind of showed what I was talking about. It's fairly chaotic. Sprinting from point to point, they just get lost. The turnover is pretty quick, but yeah, also had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I think core gameplay wise, it's good fun. Gunplay's good and stuff like that. They just need to work on longevity, in my opinion. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, make sure you leave a like and also think about subscribing. Cheers, guys.